how do you think that they are going to recast, or who do you think is going to get cast in the Black Panther role?
Well,
What do you think is going to happen there?
I think since Black Panther 2, they have to pretty much start filming that now. I think Shuri is going to take on the mantle of Black Panther, which does happen in the comic books. So it would be comic book accurate and they wouldn't have to upset people by recasting Chadwick Boseman. But I can't see them having just a female Black Panther for this long. So I think they will somehow replace Chadwick Boseman's character, but not have him be, the same character, but just have another man who takes up the role of Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to be someone already established in the Marvel universe.
So you don't think Killmonger will get it? Because he was a really relatable villain. A lot of people could see his motivation.
That's true. That's a good point. But I can't see them taking him from being a villain to just all of a sudden becoming the Black Panther. I think there would have to be a lot in between that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right about Shuri. How controversial would it be if Peter Parker took on them? Because he's like a scientist and stuff. Like he could fit within that realm, but how controversial would that be?
If he took on the role of Black Panther,
He uses the accent. It's like,
no, we
welcome
do
to
not want that.
Wakanda. But he's still Peter Parker, still Tom Holland. That'd be crazy. I mean,
I
he's
think
using
I
the
think Tom
accent the whole
Holland
time.
should take on Shuri's current role and become the scientist while Shuri
Yeah.
is being the Black Panther.
No, I think he's supposed to replace Iron Man because he was set as like his protege and stuff. So I think he's supposed to take on that mantle of like the leader, figurehead type character of the Avengers. Because I mean, that's kind of what he was in the comics. Um, he was like their go-to guy for technology and stuff eventually, because I mean, you would see him all the time in like labs and stuff like that when he wasn't an adult and he wasn't out fighting crime as Spider-Man. He was in labs and stuff. So I could see him definitely filling that mantle of being the one who suits everybody up and stuff. And kind of is, I don't know if he'd be their leader. Who do you think is going to take over as leader of the Avengers? Do you think it's probably going to be Captain America?
I think it would have to be either Captain America or Bucky because I don't think anyone else has really put in the time. Like obviously Black Panther would have been the next logical step, but since Chadwick Boseman is dead, that can't happen. So I don't think Tom Holland is really old enough for it to be believable for him to be the
Yeah.
next leader of the Avengers. There would be some few years down the line. So I think it would have to be Falcon, Captain America at this point because he's been on the team the longest.
Oh, right. Captain America, the traditional Captain America, is out the picture too. I completely forgot about that
Yeah.
because that happened at like the last little bit of the movie. Yeah, so it may be Falcon, but Thor was a leader on Asgard.
That's true. I don't think Thor can handle the pressure because even if you look at the last Avengers movie, he got all depressed and then just like didn't want to fight after they lost to Thanos. So he can't handle pressure well enough to be a leader of the Avengers.
Yeah, and I can't think of another character outside of Captain America and Iron Man who will sacrifice themselves that willingly. Maybe Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is like a good character that he could be a leader, but he doesn't have like a big team around him. The other sorcerers and stuff, but like that's his small camp, and everybody has their small camp.
Yeah.
If you were looking at it that way, you could say Ant-Man just as well, because Ant-Man organizes his crime syndicate and stuff like that. When
I
they're
think Doctor
stealing, but
Strange likes to play in the background. I
yeah, I
think
do
he's
too.
a good background manipulator. So
But
I can't.
if he was the one coming up with their game plans, he's like one of the most intelligent ones because he was a neurosurgeon before that.
Yeah.
So he's definitely one of the most intelligent um, Avengers. Who do you think is the most intelligent Marvel character? Not even just taking MCU, but now they got Fantastic Four as a property, and then they got X-Men. So they have Professor X. Who do you think is probably the most brainy character?
I would say either Stephen Strange or Bruce Banner at this point.
Stephen Strange or Bruce Banner? Bruce Banner is real intelligent, and he was one of the ones who made the Ultron suit, right? And then he turned it into Vision. So yeah, that's actually, I don't think he had anything to do with Ultron. I think that was all Tony Stark, but he did have something to do with the Vision
So speaking of
part of
Vision,
it.
would Vision count? Would he be in the running for most intelligent character?
Yeah, it's who's still living. So um, since Vision got killed, I don't think he could count.
Yeah.
But I mean, Wanda and Vision's coming back. Um, so we'll see what happens there. But if Vision, say you included everybody that's living and dead, um, I still, my case would still be on either Mr. Fantastic or Shuri.
Yeah, I think it's between Strange, Bruce, or Shuri for me.
Yeah.
Who?
Shuri's like so smart, but and like you can tell by their dialogue, one of the most intelligent ones was Iron Man because his dialogue is like exactly how really intelligent people make jokes. Like when you read stuff about Albert Einstein, he would make little quips and they were just like real funny non sequiturs, kind of like Iron Man. And so I think that that's a sign of intelligence. So if you're basing it on the way they talk and then also what they've done on screen, Mr. Fantastic isn't in the MCU yet, so I haven't seen how his character develops in the MCU. But definitely, I would put it between Iron Man and Shuri. But Bruce Banner's pretty smart. I just think that because they're doing technical stuff, and then Doctor Strange is a good one because he's doing neuroscience, so that's real into the small scale and stuff like that, and running numbers and things. But I think that because they had Shuri um, trying to reprogram Vision after it took all those people to make Vision, she was the one who was able to reprogram him. I think she's the smartest character in Marvel.
I think definitely the education in Wakanda and the technology they have is far above anything that even Tony Stark or Bruce Banner or any of them would have had access to. So I think Shuri has to be a lot more intelligent than them. And I think
Yeah.
when you level intelligence, I think Doctor Strange, before he became Doctor Strange, he was already a neurosurgeon, and then having access to the time stone and everything, it gave him a lot more foresight. He was able to see so many different timelines, just have access to knowledge that no other human would have access to.
He is the character you see reading the most, so that's a good point. And Shuri, that also what you were saying about the technologies that they have and stuff, but they have it's not called vibranium. Vibranium's what's on Captain America's shield. What's their element called?
Yeah, it is vibranium.
It is vibranium? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, then they have vibranium. And that is a otherworldly substance. So I think when you're working with that, it's like when you go into a Call of Duty game with aim assist, like it just makes things a little bit easier. So I don't know if that's a good indicator or not. It could, I mean, because of what they were able to do with that substance, could prove that she is much smarter than everybody else around her by far. But also, Tony Stark was working with like human elements and making these incredible things. So I don't know if they were to sit down and play chess, I don't know who would win. Um, but so taking the mental out of it, um I guess you would want that because Iron Man as a character is much like if Iron Man was to fist fight Captain America, Iron Man would die instantly. He would one punch, he'd be out of there. But so if you were to take all the elements into it, what do you think are the power levels? Like who do you think if they were to all go rogue and fight each other, who do you think would come out on top of that battle royale?
Obviously, the Hulk.
The Hulk, you think would come out on top of the battle royale when Iron Man has his Hulkbuster suit?
I think so. I think either the Hulk or Thor.
I think maybe Professor Hulk because he's a
Yeah,
combination of Bruce Banner with the strength of the Hulk. I think that might
yeah,
tear it up because he can think almost on the level of Tony Stark, but then he's real hyper strong. But I think that if he had access to that at all times, he would have come up with some type of solution to the Hulkbuster armor because he didn't do too well against it, even though he did end up beating it. But Thor and Hulk fight, and Hulk doesn't just demolish him.
Yeah.
I mean, he did punch him out the frame like 3 times in Avengers 1, but um, I don't necessarily think he's like infinitely more powerful than him. Um, but so Thor might handle the Hulk. Like that
Yeah.
might be the
That's
fight
like
that's
a
going on
Hulk
where
or
everybody else is
Thor.
fighting,
Yeah.
and the winner of that, I think, is gonna have to face somebody. Um,
I would say Hulk, Thor, or Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is a good one. So in Ragnarok, um, Thor did beat Hulk when they were having that gladiator fight. And so that, yeah, it'd be down between those two. I just think that Thor's not a thinker, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who would probably come out on top if all the Marvel characters were to fight out, with the exception of like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet or something. Because if Thanos was in there, Thanos could take Hulk because he already did.
Yeah.
But if you were to take Thanos out and like the thing that Doctor Strange fought, Dormammu or something, what
Dormammu.
the what?
Dormammu.
Yeah, Dormammu. If you were to take those villains out, I think Loki would go crazy because he thinks on a totally different way than Earth people think. He has a whole different way of trickery and doing stuff, setting up game plans, and he plays with people's emotions where Iron Man isn't necessarily into those same level of emotional manipulation and stuff like that. I think he would like fake team up with people and then betray them and do all kinds of stuff. I think Loki is a good contender for somebody who would come out of that battle royale.
I think Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch could easily beat Loki.
You know what? Scarlet Witch, I completely overlooked her because yeah, she is somebody because of the element of magic, she could handle the Hulk.
Yeah, so I think I might change my answer to Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We haven't
We
even
can actually
seen,
agree on that. Scarlet Witch is probably
yeah,
gonna
we haven't seen
do.
the extent of her power really in the
Yeah,
movies. They've been underusing her for sure.
yeah. That's gonna be a good one. That fight right there between like Hulk and Scarlet Witch. But then again, Loki does have all that extra level, but I think she'll still beat him with the magic because that's part of his element too, is magic, and she's just stronger at it.
Yeah, her magic is much more powerful, I think.
Why did they hype up Quicksilver so much and then just kill him off?
I was so mad at that.
I know. And they did so well with Quicksilver in
And,
X-Men, like yeah,
the
in
X
the Fox franchise, he was crazy. Like his power levels were up there. Um, but yeah, I thought that it was surprising how powerful Spider-Man was in Avengers. When
yeah.
he like head kicked Thanos and like actually did some impact and stuff. Why is what's his name? The whole pretty much the whole except for Drax. Why is the Guardians of the Galaxy in the Avengers? That's like adding back in that's like adding in what's his name, Black Widow and Hawkeye. That doesn't make any sense. Like they're
Yeah,
so they're just all their power is jokes. That's what their
they're
whole,
useless.
yeah, they don't do very much. Gamora is pretty dope. She can fight pretty well. I think she could definitely beat Black Widow or something, but
For sure.
Star-Lord is not like there's nothing redeemable about him. His plans suck. He's he's not a good fighter. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
even
pretty
like,
dumb.
it doesn't even say that he has like exceptional aim like Hawkeye or anything. So I don't know what his use is there. The raccoon is smart, so he has that redeeming quality. I guess he's just a good team builder. Like maybe that's his whole power is building a team, but he doesn't lead them that good. It's a real bad lower tier character.
Yeah, I think the Guardians usually just get lucky, honestly. But when
Yeah.
it comes to Avengers, they're not on the same level.
No, yeah, they were like background characters in that last fight with Thanos when everybody ran out the portals. I was like, why? I would have stayed inside the portal, honestly, if I was if I was on this level. Like I would not be out there hyped to fight. What's the blue girl's name? With the
Nebula.
wire. Yeah, Nebula. She's actually probably the one of the better people on their squad. Drax could probably beat her physically, but um, I think she's another brainy character.